Okay, I want to talk about a few things that I've noticed that a lot of people actually don't know, including me, because I'm dealing with the problems right now. Pretty much this is going to be another topic on the name change, but a little bit more further in detail. So I've been working on getting my name change and my gender change and things like that because of things, and pretty much right now I'm trying to work towards getting all that done. Now the problem is that it's been actually really difficult because I live in Florida. Um, yeah, why not? I live in Florida, no specific area because nobody needs to know that. But pretty much, it's really difficult in the sense of how to do it, because even when you go online and you like read all the things that they're like documents and things like that, it doesn't actually really tell you that much that you need to know. It is actually like really difficult. Now, I went in originally to start off because I knew I needed my fingerprints and all those other things to do my background check. I've done that 3 times. I'm still dealing with trying to get my background check actually to me. It's been literally over like 3.5 months now. I've paid 3 times up to $80 for my background check, and I still haven't received it. I am going through the courts right now trying to figure out how I'm supposed to get that done as well. And that's not easy either. But pretty much, when you do a name change, at least in my state, I don't know about others. I know that in Florida it's really difficult for some weird reason. But there are main things that you need to know. These are the things that I feel should be like expressed the most when you're doing it. So first off, when you start off, before you can do anything else, you need to go get your background check. Your background check requires your fingerprints. In order to get it here, it costs $25 to go get your fingerprints. And then you have to go on FDLE and you have to file your fingerprints. And then, unbeknownst to me, even though I've called them like a ton of times and they said that it should already be at the courthouse and that they should already have the information. Well, they don't. Just by the way, they don't have the information at all. But pretty much they have to sit, you have to have an actual hard copy of your background check in order to do this. Now, once you get your background check, I did not do these things because I didn't know, and there's not that many people who actually explain to you how it's supposed to be done. So obviously I didn't know that you were supposed to do these things. But pretty much once you get your background check, okay, you need a copy of your birth certificate. By the way, you can't copy that in Florida because of legal issues. So you're not legally allowed to copy it. You have to take it to the courthouse to get it copied because of the way they do it now. You have to have a copy of your ID. Same thing. You can't have that copied on a regular copy machine because legal reasons. And then you have to have your social security copied as well. Same thing. If you don't have a newer, an older social security card or things like that, then yes, you do need to go to the courthouse as well to get that copied. And then you need the FDL. You need to print out all the name change paperwork that you need. You can find that online. It's really easy to find it. And pretty much you get all that filled out. What's required in there mainly is your mother's and father's name and maiden name. You have to have all your information of where you lived. Can't tell you how hard that actually is to do, considering my family kind of sucks and they have no recollection of my history at all. They don't know where we lived. They don't remember the times we lived there. They don't remember the addresses. So this has been a big pain for me, and I'm trying to explain it to the courthouse that when I look up my places where I lived, it's not really documented. And when I ask my family where I lived, they can give me like a rough estimate of where we lived and no rough estimate of how long we lived there. That doesn't work. But I'm working through that. I'm actually going to go to the courthouse on Tuesday and try to figure that out. But then you need the information on if you've had any criminal history, if you've been married, if you have kids, all those legal factors. You have to have all the information of yourself and any other legal information of you or the people who live with you, mainly your mother or father, or if you have children. Um, then you need to make sure that everything's filled out. I did not do this again. I contribute that to my dumbness. I am not, I did not do this the right way, and I'm paying for it now because I have a rush. I have to have everything done by next month, the 14th, or they're going to expunge my case, and I just lost $500. By the way, it costs $500 to go get it filed to set up the court date. So just remember all this, because if you don't get it all right the first time, then you can't get the information before it's time to actually have the court hearing. They will dismiss your case, and there could actually even be a fine for dismissing your case. So they just want extra, extra, extra money from you. That's pretty much what it is. Exactly what it is. They just want more and more money from you. But anyways, then you need to go to a notary after you've had everything, made sure that everything's there, and you need to get a notary, a legal notary. Don't do it with somebody that you know. Do it with somebody who has a stamp. Go. And pretty much you need all that filled out. Let them read through it, because they're going to read through it. And then they're going to sign their name and give them their little notary stamp, like boom. And then that's good. Okay, so there are the things that you do need to do. Now, in order to actually get the process started in our state, in my state, is you have to go down to the courthouse with all of this paperwork. All of it. Make sure you have copies of every last one of them, even duplicates of the copies, because you need them. You have to have them. If you don't have them, you're going to be screwed, because they can pull up anything they want and say whatever they want, and then your case is gone and you owe another $500 to even get it started again. You need all of it. Keep copies of copies of copies. Make sure that everything's done. Now, in our state, you are not allowed to change your actual gender in your birth certificate. Only on your social security and your driver's license and main information. Your birth certificate, until you get SRS, you are not allowed to change. That is Florida law. I wish it wasn't, but it kind of is. The good news is that the only time that anybody's ever going to actually see that male sign is if they actually go on to the actual like my birth certificate and things like that. And most of the time they don't actually do that. So it should be perfectly fine there. But so then you have to set it all up. You have to go in with the $500 and then you pay for it. After you're done with that, they will get everything done. It costs like, I think, $1 to $5 per copy. So if you don't go get it yourself, you're going to be spending a lot more on copies than what you actually should be. And once again, like I said, you have to get your birth certificate, ID, and social security number card all like copied at the courthouse, which is just an extra pain in the butt there. But after you're done doing that, then you go in, you have it all filed out, and then pretty much you just get a receipt back. Receipt stating, oh, you filed this petition. Then you have to wait. It took mine about like 15 days for them to get the letter back to me telling me that I'm missing these things and I'm missing these things. And now I'm like flipping out trying to figure it out. Honestly, if you can afford it, get a lawyer. Get like a legal attorney or something like that to help you with it, because it'll just go smoother for you. I can't afford to do that, and I'm not going to do that. I can figure things out. I have always had to do that anyway, so I'm going to figure things out. And then after you have all that done, and once it comes into that area where you get the letter back and everything's good, then you're pretty much, you just wait for the court date. And then once the court date's done, the hearing, if they ask you to come in, then you have to go into court. If they don't ask you to come in, then you don't have to go to court. And after all that's said and done, then you're pretty much done. you're done. You get the letter, probably, I think it's like another 30 days you have to wait for the courthouse to send you the letter. And then you have to go to the DMV. You have to get that changed. You have to get a hold of the Social Security office. You got to get that changed. And then you got to go to your job. You got to give them the information. And then you got to go to your bank accounts. You got to give them the information. Then you got to get a hold of all your credit cards and debit cards, and you have to change all that information. You have to get your documents changed on your car, your insurance, pretty much everything, because now you don't have the same name, and you have to make sure that everything is actually fitting you, or you can get in a lot of trouble for it because now you have a different legal name. So yeah, pretty much that's the full gist of things. It's what you need. I do hope that this helps some people out, and I do appreciate you watching. I mean, if you want to, you can subscribe if you want, all that mumbo jumbo. Or if you'd like to ask me other questions, I've gone through pretty much everything in this whole entire book, so I can answer them to the best of my ability. Pretty much feel free to do so. I'm more than happy to answer those questions, and I do appreciate you watching. And I hope I can make videos sooner and get everything down to R and things like that. And I do appreciate everybody watching. This was Stacy again, and I hope you have a really lovely day. Bye.